good evening to all our friends here tonight. And it is my honor to join you at tonight's program. Jobs and Charlotte Bittner in Heitzrasses, are they here? I want to thank you for your leadership of this incredible organization, which I learned to get to know through my membership at the Israeli Knesset. And I warmly remember the Shabbat dinner when you joined me at my house in Jerusalem, just a few streets away from here. And I'm grateful to count you among our friends. A few years ago, I had the opportunity to join the March of Life in Kielce, Poland. I stood there in the very site where a horrible pogrom against the Jews took place, and I learned about the wonderful things that March of Life is doing. Actually, an amazing thing to go into the hard places where anti-Semitism is being, taught through very early stages, through so much ignorance and without any shame, just saying out loud, we are supporters of the State of Israel. So I want to thank you for that. During that visit to Kielce, I went to visit the village where my grandfather and my grandmother, my late grandfather and my late mother lived. It's in a village called Szejny in Poland. And they lost all of their families. They went to Israel, Palestine at the time, during the 30s. And actually, they carried throughout their life a tragic story. They came to Palestine, they came to Israel. And during the time they stayed in Israel, their parents came to visit from Poland. And they told them, it was fascism started and everything. It was 1930, I think, 5 or so. And they told them, mother, father, don't go back to Poland. Things that are not good happening there. Something might happen to you. And the parents of my grandfathers said, we need to go back. You have children there. Your siblings are there. We have grandsons there, we have grandchildren there, and they went back to Poland to their death in the Holocaust camps. Together with my late, the great grandfathers, from my grandmother's side, their whole family was erased upon the surface of the land. She lost her 3 brothers. My grandfather lost and she lost all of her brothers and sisters, including young nephews, which were very, very young. My grandfather lost most of his siblings, which had each 5, 6 children. It is unbelievable when I think of it as a mother of 4 children in Jerusalem. I can't even imagine such a horror. And through all of their lives, they carried this scar, and they couldn't go back to Poland. They refused to go there. They said, we have nothing to do there. It's the land of blood for us. And all of their life until their death, they refused to go to that village. Many Israelis go back in route trips to talk about the history. My grandparents refused to go back there. And that is why when I had the honor to go with you, remember, as a member of the Israeli Knesset, accompanied by my friends from the March of Life, when they took me especially to the village where my family was murdered, and I was there as a representative of the State of Israel, of the parliament, of the Israeli parliament, it was really touching. I also went to the house that belonged to my family, and it was actually a very, very big privilege to know such good friends that I think that you are leaders, because I'm sure that what you're doing is not popular in some societies and in some people who are, prejudiced. And it takes a lot of bravery and leadership to stand up for us in such times of growing anti-Semitism and growing problems in the social media where there's so much defamation and so much fake news that it becomes, even harder to tell what is fake and what is truth. And when it comes to Israel, there is so much fake, so much untruth that it is very hard to fight and to address. And I want to thank you for that. So I want to tell you a little bit that after being a parliament member, I became a minister in the last 2 governments. Now I'm again in the opposition. And when I also was the Minister of Strategic Affairs, I dealt a lot with the BDS, with a lot of defamation, the social network problems. And I want to encourage each and every one of you to voice the truth on social media, because it becomes a bigger and a bigger problem. Only in these last attacks, you see online so many pictures of babies, of Palestinian babies being murdered, and they were only killed, unfortunately, because of a missile shot to us, because our enemies are launching missiles from hospitals, keeping their weapons under hospitals, under schools, under things that are unhumanitarian. And when you're living with neighbors that once their target is to extinct their neighbors, I don't think that you can even imagine such a reality that you can accept. And Israel has the right to defend itself. So I really want to thank you again. I left the Knesset in the middle of very intensive discussions on the budget, and Sharon knows how tired I am. But for me, it is something of the heart, and I think that supporting you and extending my deepest gratitude to each and every one of you, and I see hundreds of you here, each and every one of you is a leader to fight fake news, not to bow down when people are saying anti-Semitic remarks. No, it is not okay, because it always ends in violence and with a strengthening of extreme Islamic people, and it actually strengthened other extreme activities. So I want to thank you. I want to thank your caucus. I think that it is an inspiring work, and I'm truly grateful for that. Thank you very much.